I had a pretty terrible father. Divorced my mom, never paid child support. It was all around pretty bad. However, he did do one thing that kind of changed my life. As a birthday gift, I was given my favorite video game. Obviously, that game was Monster Hunter Tri. It was the first release in the third generation of the series. I had never heard of Monster Hunter before this. It was still pretty niche in the West. At the time, I was considered a newbie. It's funny how I can be called a veteran now. Anyway, I started playing the game. I'm still working on getting a capture card to showcase the game, so for now I'm using trailer and cutscene footage. Sorry about that. When the game booted up, I was greeted with the animation of creatures swimming and dinosaurs fighting, and I was baffled. Why have I never played this game before? The music is beautiful, oh my god. There's like a certain tranquil peace to old school Monster Hunter that I feel has been somewhat lost in recent titles. Monster Hunter is a simulation game, like bus simulator, but instead of driving a bus, you're a monster hunter. You've been hired by a village to hunt monsters for them, and that's what you do. In exchange for acquiring food and protecting the village, they give you a house. All of this information is given to you through text or just implication, but it doesn't really matter. In reality, your hunter doesn't really need this info. He knows why he's there. Everyone knows why you're there. In Monster Hunter Tri, it kind of highlights this concept of a village hunter perfectly, better than any of the other games, in my opinion. You're tasked to leave the village and simply hunt creatures. They call this free hunting. Every monster you hunt, regardless of size or danger level, nets you resource points, and these points represent the food and other resources you're acquiring for the village. These points are constantly required for the village to do anything for you, meaning you have to be the hunter for the village. It baffles me that this concept is never truly realized in the other titles that came after it. This is the only game where you're truly working in cooperation with the village. The more you help them, the better the village becomes. So you repair their farm and their fishing fleet, and most of all, you protect it from the attack of the most dangerous creatures. My love for Monster Hunter is partially this aspect, about the being one with the village. But I mean, like, the game is absolutely fun, so even without the concept of hunting for the village, I would still really enjoy the game. The icing on the cake is the sense of dependence and necessity of you being there. You are living the singular profession of a hunter, in a world where they actually aren't common. A major gripe with Monster Hunter World for me is how it surrounds you with hunters, and it makes you less special. Monster Hunter does not have a world full of hunters. You are a rarity, otherwise there would be more than just one hunter per village, I would assume. But again, my love for Monster Hunter is complicated. There's a certain aesthetic that is simply too complex for me to properly convey into words. It's one part this hunter-village dynamic, but also the clear connection to nature. In Monster Hunter, when you kill something, you take back every part of the organism and use it. The meat gets turned into food for the village, but the scales and the bones are used to create equipment for the village and for you as well. The most unfortunate thing is that most of this is completely implied. It never tells you that the meat's getting eaten by the village, you just have to assume. My love for Monster Hunter is this implication. This is a world that's so lived in that they don't have to tell you how it works, it just works. My love for Monster Hunter is the full immersion into the world that can only happen if you let it. This doesn't make any sense, but I'll try to use examples. So you know when you're at home and you go to make yourself some lunch, but you discover you don't have any food and you kind of need to go shopping. You can either make a crappy lunch using what little you have, or you can run to the store really quickly and potentially make a better lunch. Old School Monster Hunter had a completely separate online hub town than the offline village, and getting there meant navigating like 50 menus and at least waiting 10 minutes. Now, say you really need to hunt a Rathalos, but you know it'll be a crappy hunt because you're not prepared. You can instead go to the online town and have an easier time with the help of other players, improve your equipment, and then you can handle it all on your own. Or you can just do it on your own and have a crappy hunt. This is my running to the store example. It's a decision of time and energy if you want to have a better result. Another example, once I was in a YouTube comments section and saw Monster Hunter 1 veterans talking about Claw Day. I did some digging and discovered that Claw Day was just the day that the online town stores would have sales. This made it easier to purchase Wyvern Claws, which was essential for bowgunners. This Claw Day was every 11 days in real life. These people would make sure they logged onto Monster Hunter on these days, and every 11 days is not exactly easy to remember. That's something you mark on your calendar. It's this weird connection between the player and the game that I have never seen before in any other game. There's one last example, and I found this online. I'll actually quote it. It's from a webpage dedicated to releasing the English patches of the Japanese exclusive Monster Hunter 2 DOS. I don't know the name of the person who wrote it, but I'm going to quote it. Why am I still here? I don't know. Probably this game, without a story or various gameplay, has changed the way I consider games. I used to start the day, before beginning my job, going into the jungle to get some honeys or flash bugs to make mega potions and flash bombs so that I could have been all prepared against a Kasheladora or a Teostra at night. That for a long time was quite a part of my life. Still, I fortunately never tried to buy some drome eggs from the fruitery near home. I don't know how to describe my love for Monster Hunter properly. Some would describe these examples I just listed as just normal occurrences found in MMORPGs, but honestly it feels different in Monster Hunter, though I can't quantify it in words. I'm hoping that maybe the examples or my ramblings have strung some kind of chord, and people can view Monster Hunter the way I do. Monster Hunter isn't just a game, it's a strange lifestyle through and through. To end it off, I wanted to note that the person who played the most Monster Hunter with me was my stepfather. We got multiple PSPs, 3DSs, and PS4s just to play Monster Hunter together over the years. My stepfather proved to be a better father than my biological father ever was, and I'm not talking about Monster Hunter. To say this series isn't my favorite would be lying. I really do love this game.